Hey friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and I am going to try my hand at a clean and simple card. And in fact, I actually learned about this card layout from Meg Daves. She taught at the Masculine Makes Masterclass series, and her class was all about clean and simple design. She taught a lot of different types and layouts of clean and simple cards. And so I encourage you, if you want to check out some of the other cards that Meg shared, you can still sign up for that masterclass if you'd like. I am going to do my best. This is actually my second attempt at this card. The first one, if you caught my first look video of the laser square by We Are Memory Keepers, it didn't go so hot. But what I learned from that, I'm going to apply to this one. I'm using some gorgeous solid color cardstocks from Cut Cardstock. And of course, teal and pink. Okay, nobody is surprised, I'm sure. I did tell you, if I was left to my own devices, this is the color combination that I gravitate towards. Now, if you're looking for exact colors, I am using the Pop Tone Blue Raspberry cardstock, and this is 65 pound. I'm actually going to use this in a couple different places. So it's going to be the first layer on my card. So I cut that panel to 4¼ by 5½. That's going to cover the entire card base. My card base I cut out of the Cut Cardstock Cougar White smooth cardstock. That's 80 pounds, so a little bit heavier weight, which is nice if you're using it just for like a really lovely layered card. I would definitely go with their higher, heavier weight cardstock if you are creating a card that is more interactive or has a pop-up mechanism, because then it'll be much sturdier. But I feel 80 pound is good for this style of card. And the card I'm making, really super good for your scraps. If you end up with a lot of 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch strips, this card is going to be perfect for that. Now, with my handy dandy swatch ring here, I am going to try to find a ink pad that is close enough in color to this Pop Tone Blue Raspberry cardstock that I have, and stamp out my sentiment. The sentiment is actually from a Spellbinders Clear Stamp and Die of the Month Club. I think it's just from January of 2025. And it's really lovely. And the key is that all the letters are the same height. Now, I don't think that Meg specifically said that this was a something to look for in your sentiment, and it's not strictly the only way to create this card. But if you saw my first look video, you'll know that I did not choose a sentiment that was all the same height on that card, and I just feel like that opened up some different design challenges. We'll just put it that way. While I love the die set that I used earlier, I feel this is much cleaner. And for this particular design, I think it's going to work out really well. Now, I don't have a ton of scraps, so I'm just cutting 1/4 inches off of my full sheets here. But like I said, this is really great for using up your scrap. So I definitely encourage you to kind of go through your scrap pile and see what you can find. Now, with the sentiment, because it has a coordinating die to cut out a really nice outline, I actually die cut it. I die cut the sentiment, and then I die cut 2 additional layers out of that same Cougar White and stack them up so that I have some dimension. And now comes the fun part, but I feel like it is important, and maybe not everybody feels this way, but one of the things that I noticed as Meg was teaching her class is that she is very clean crafter, and she is a very like precise, accurate crafter. So she takes the time to really line things up nicely. She makes sure that everything is nice and squared. And I feel like that's really important for clean and simple cards like this one because there's really not a lot that is on the card. So everything that's on the card needs to belong there and also needs to um, kind of look like it's in the perfect place because small imperfections, there's like nowhere to hide from them. Whereas if you, that's why a lot of times when I have the choice of lining something up perfectly square or I can go a little bit wonky, I always go a little bit wonky because I think it's just easier. And also, that means that if I have imperfections in other places, then it seems like it's a little bit more forgivable. And if there's a lot of layers and a lot of patterns and a lot of randomness on your card, then I feel like even your small imperfections will probably go unnoticed, as opposed to a design like this, where I really think that, say, the gaps in between each of these quarter-inch strips, if one gap is like slightly wider than the next, which I can spot that is the case on my card, it's really noticeable because there's not a lot going on the card. And so so I do feel like it's this is part of the reason why clean and simple is a little bit of a challenge for me. But if you take Meg's class, she actually teaches other card designs that really don't require this level of precision if it's a little bit too finicky for you. So I definitely need to go back and check out some of her other card designs and incorporate those tips and tricks into my toolbox as well. That's one of the things I really like about the Masterclass series is that every instructor gives a lot of tips and tricks, and it, I feel like, helps make me a better crafter at the end of the day. Now, these strips, as you can see, you can easily use up your scraps because I am just lining up a strip of the same color right below the strip on the top. And then it kind of looks like it's a nice continuation of the pattern or the design. And what I love about this is that you don't need a lot in your stash, just some simple cardstock, really. This is kind of a celebration of your color cardstock because you don't need much else besides it. And you can have this really wonderful and effective card. So here's the card that we just finished up. And I really like sentiments like this because I feel like I can use it for any occasion, like a thank you card, a birthday card, a just because card. And then I made this one out of just some different color choices. So here I used the Pop Tone Black Licorice. I used the tan, Sandcastle Tan in the discount cardstock, and I also use the pewter gray in discount cardstock as well. And so you can kind of see that the two are similar in design, but they feel very different just because of the color choices that I made. And then just choosing a different pattern for the colors can also be a fun way of mixing this up as well. So I had a lot of fun with these cards. I'll leave links to everything in the description box below. And until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.